should enjoy the fruits of life instead of chasing coins. Cause oh, it's a beautiful day. Isn't it all? So come on, let's play. Forget the rush, you're in to find a good spot. Sit down and join us as we sing a good song. Keep back, relax, and just follow along. Oh, we got plenty of time. Begin it easy, won't cost you a dime. Throw another log onto the fire. Because oh, it's a beautiful day. No, come on, let's play.
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the Sunday night tribal chat, everyone. Jen, obviously, is still not here. She's still getting dolled up. I don't know where she is, honestly. She was in the bathroom last time I saw her. I have no idea where she is currently. Hey, Cher, Real Rockin' Robin, Eve. We got a bunch of mods here tonight. Rain Dancer's here. Finder of all lost things, Nancy Joe. Jenna, of course. Thanks for coming in, Jenna. Wouldn't be the same without you here. Karen. I gotta tell you guys, we are not, it dawned on me today, we are not typical YouTubers, okay? I'm just gonna say that right now because I plan all week, like when I set up a topic for our Sunday, which I like to have a topic on Sundays, have it planned out. And I set up this one because it's something that's really important, something that two of the cases we've deeply dived into. The other three, the more recent ones, I looked into a little bit, and I was hoping all week I would have time to do deeper research. But I got to tell you guys, like during the week, this week especially, last week, it's crazy at work. There is a project right now that's taking up all of my brain space, and I just can't think. And usually I come home at night and I research all night, and I just couldn't last week. So we're going to be going through some of these cases together live, and then this weekend. Okay, this weekend. Yeah, she's okay. She's fine. She's tired because, and I'll tell you why. A while ago, she's like, oh, do we really have to do this tonight? She loves talking to you all. She looks forward to talking to you all. But sometimes days like today happen, and it's just, yesterday I went to Lost Cove with Justin Chase, the guy I told you guys about, the young Johnson City YouTuber, just starting out. Oh, sounds good, Cher. Yeah, Courtney's case is another one that's fascinating to me, absolutely. And so, okay, I don't know how many of you are local. I don't know how many of you have been to Lost Cove. And by the way, I didn't know this until this weekend, yesterday when we were driving down there. You have to go you drive on 26, Interstate 26. I agree, Cher. She is naturally beautiful. She does not have to get dolled up. She's coming down. They're all saying you don't have to get dolled up.
Wow, I'm impressed you did the candles.
I did do the candles, although those candles don't light anymore.
I know.
Like the wick burned under the wax.
That's weird.
All right.
I didn't have time to fix
the star of the show is here now. Oh, I love your shirt. She loves fall, you guys.
Well,
she loves
the first
fall.
day of fall.
And today is the first day of fall.
Yesterday?
Well,
Today
technically the first day of fall. Apparently today the Earth didn't realize that it's fall,
It was.
or Tennessee didn't anyway.
It was hot.
It was hot. Yeah. So driving down to Lost Cove, if you guys aren't from around here, you've never been there. A lot of locals even know.
Oh, you're talking.
A lot of locals don't even know how to get to Lost Cove. Hence the name Lost, I guess. It's in a cove that nobody can find. You have to drive past Unicoi. You have to keep going south about another 30 minutes maybe. Then you got to drive through god-awful turns through the mountains till you find a dirt road. The dirt road number, I wish I could tell you, it's FS 5 something. And then I only know about it because if you can find Lost Cove on the map, you can see the dirt road that goes up to it. And so we drove. Poor Justin. He was excited in the morning.
Oh, that was yesterday.
Yeah, he was excited in the morning, so the drive didn't seem too bad. He came to our house. I drove him down, found the dirt road, drove up the dirt road. Okay, but on the way back, so the hike was crazy, you guys. I was like, you know what? I've been hiking now. Tough hikes.
I lucked out.
You did luck out.
I guess I did.
For like years now. I've been hiking like I'm in shape. I can hike anything. I can hike all day. Well, you guys, Lost Cove, if you go down and do that hike, and if anybody wants to, I'll tell you where it is, how to find the dirt road and how to find the trail. But it's all downhill to get to the cove, to get to the abandoned settlement. And it's like 3.5 miles downhill. So when you're in the morning, you're excited. Got tons of energy. It's like, oh yeah, this is awesome. And you go really fast. You get there in like an hour, maybe an hour and a half. You get to the river and it's awesome. And then you enjoy the river. There's railroad tracks there. We had a good time. And then we started hiking out, and it's
the hike out.
You guys, 3.5 miles all uphill. You get a break with some of the switchbacks that are flat.
Sounds like what we used to do.
Oh my gosh. And both of us, I didn't eat much before I went, which was a huge mistake. So by the time we were on the last switchbacks going uphill to get to the parking lot, which seemed like it was way longer than 3 miles, my thighs were actually shaking. They were spasming. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it.
You know what? I've realized at our age that we have to worry about our blood sugar.
Well,
no, come on now.
For me, I realized when your muscles spasm like that and you're hiking, you need to get potassium and magnesium in you. Yes, it kicked my...
I just had deja vu for some reason. Did we have this conversation before?
Probably, because I've made that mistake so many times.
Yeah.
From now on, I'm always bringing the Gator Light, the kind you don't like the taste of it. It's loaded with potassium.
It has salt in it. I mean, it's... Yeah. I drink it because it's good to drink.
I would have been fine with that. I would have been totally fine if my muscle wasn't... All my muscles in my legs were just...
That hurts when you get a muscle spasm.
Yes, and luckily he does marathons.
He does?
He does marathons.
I thought he was...
Well, he started doing marathons, and it kicked his butt too. Like toward the end, he was fine until the very end. He had to sit down, and we were sitting on the trail for 5 minutes. He's on some... That's TMI, but his nose started bleeding. Well, it wasn't a big deal, but it was just like thin blood type thing. You know what I mean?
You didn't tell me about that.
Yeah, so a little bit of nosebleed, and he got that under control.
When did you do this, poor boy?
We made it out. And you guys, and this will be in his... I don't want to give too much away, because in the beginning of his video, when you see it, he... let's just say I thought I didn't get enough sleep the night before. We stayed up too late watching a movie. I always make that mistake. And I got like 4 hours of sleep, but I was fine in the morning. Had some coffee. He couldn't sleep. He had insomnia.
Was he too excited?
I may be too excited or something, but
probably.
By the end of it, when he got in the Jeep, his eyes were red. He was ready to pass out. He was ready to pass out.
Aww.
But he loved it. He actually was like, hey, we should do this again. Hey, if you can handle that and want to do it again, that's pretty amazing.
Next time, have him come here first. We'll have a nice breakfast.
That's a good idea.
You know, and
if we could, yeah, you're right.
You know what I mean? That would probably help.
Yep.
A little bit.
It would. I am totally still hydrating from the weekend. So that was yesterday, you guys. And I went to bed thinking, so I drank 3 Gator Lights last night to try to replenish my system, thinking I was going to get up and I would not be able to walk. Because in the past, that's always what happened. I'd get up, hey, Paul, thanks for coming.
Hi, Paul.
I'd get up and like I couldn't walk. My muscles are so sore I couldn't walk.
Right.
This morning it wasn't that bad, so.
Well, you drank all that.
I drank all the Gator Light. So that's the secret. Just replenish your potassium and magnesium.
Electrolytes. Oh, see now.
I'm trying to explain them why we're not typical YouTubers and why we're not
Robin
prepared.
Her husband had a good idea.
What's that?
Margarita salt. Little bottle.
I gotta tell you, salt. Robin. I gotta admit, on the way home, I'm like, you know what? I think I'm gonna stop at the liquor store and I'm gonna get that martini mix, dirty martini. It's got olive juice in there, lots of sodium. I even put a little extra dirty in there. You know, the olive juice.
You didn't get it though.
Because I'm like, that's probably not smart.
It would have dehydrated you even more.
I picked up 3 bottles of Gator Light
Good
instead.
Job.
Much healthier.
Very good.
Yeah. So then, you guys, since I felt good, we decided we're going to go forward with our plan for today. Can't really say where we went because we're trying to keep it under wraps until maybe a couple weeks from now. We have a place that Jen and I had a conversation Friday, and we were talking through the Summer Wells story. We were talking through just
pretty late at night, wasn't it?
We got it really into it, you guys. Like we had a epiphany. I don't like body armor. Really? Yeah, I like Gator Light, but body armor, maybe.
I've heard of something called Liquid IV.
Liquid IV is really good. Yeah.
I think you can only order it. I don't think you can get it at the store.
All that stuff. I think I do drink Liquid IV after lifting.
You have
to
it?
Replenish. Well, it's no, it's the one in the grocery store.
Right. Yeah. But they have one called that's the name.
I know it's expensive.
Yeah.
So we started from the beginning. We were talking through a piece of evidence. Is it okay if I say what we were? Yeah, we were talking about I could say no. Okay, we were talking about a piece of evidence.
We should have discussed this before we came on.
I'm not going to give anything away, but we went from something that's really everyone talks about it on YouTube. Everyone talks about it in this case.
We're trying to go through things little by little and try to look
logically work through. Yeah, and logically work through the timeline when certain things happen. What would have someone done? People done, and everybody involved in the case, and we went from that. About an hour later, we were like, this happened, and then that happened, and then, oh my gosh,
and this doesn't make sense. Oh
my gosh,
this thing doesn't make sense. Why is it like this?
It just dawned on us that there's a particular location we should be focusing on, and it's crazy, you guys, because I was ready to just start going back to
everywhere that we already.
Well, no, sorry. The psychic readings.
Oh.
I was like, we're getting really good, interesting readings from people, new ones lately, and I've got a list of things south, toward the national forest.
Okay.
And that's where we're going to go this weekend. We were going to go to a.
Sorry, guys.
we were going to go to a waterfall, and last minute, I'm like, no, this is way more important. We got to go there.
It makes so much more sense.
It does make more sense. We went today to scout and we did 2 hikes today, not long, but they were just. Is it worth diving into? Is it worth going back with all our gear and just scouring through like a grid search? We decided one of the places. Jen was like, hell yes, we need to come back.
Yes, definitely. There is a place.
Yeah, otherwise I would have just showed you guys our scouting trip this next coming week. But since we have to go back, we can't tell anybody where we went. So
I think we're going to be going back a few times.
It's a pretty good area we got to scan through.
Also, we had Moon, and that didn't
Moon was...
She pulled me down into a hole.
You guys, dogs, okay? When they're a puppy, they can barely walk, quarter mile?
Oh, yeah, that's a lot. They sleep all day.
Throughout that first year, they're like, I think there's a chart they have where they get every month or every couple months, they can go a little further. Moon does not stop.
She tipped the charts.
She won't quit. And then you're done a loop that's long, and even you're exhausted, and she's gets to the loop and she doesn't want to go back to the Jeep. She wants to
go around the loop
going around the loop. She's got a lot of energy.
And then there was the water.
What water?
Remember? She went swimming.
we were near water, and it was the first time we were near deeper water, and she all of a sudden went. So, hey, Andy, thanks for coming.
Hello.
It was the first time we went to deeper water, and she actually, you know how you guys saw in the video where we went to the swimming hole, she was jumping through the water and kind of like shallow water. She likes sprinkling and playing with the sprinkles.
Right.
This place, she was playing with the sprinkles deeper and deeper and deeper.
And then all of a sudden she was like,
she's like, oh my gosh, I'm swimming. Like she just,
what am I doing?
It's like she realized she was swimming at that moment.
And then when she got out, what happened?
Then she rolled in the sand.
All over the dirt.
And then she got in my Jeep after, which was great. My back seat is now covered.
Right. And then when we got home, guess who had to give her a bath?
Jen did.
This girl did.
Yep.
That was fun.
Yep.
She likes the water, but she does not like the bath.
So the whole point of that diatribe, you guys, is that
we found a place to live.
We're not the type of YouTubers that we can spend the whole week researching so that, or even, I mean, I don't know how the daily live YouTubers do it. Do they go out and search? They do research? They do research. Well, no, they're not. That's okay. Yes, good point. I mean, the time it takes to drive, there are things that take a long time and energy. You know, if you could do research all day, I could do it fine. I could do insane research if that's all we did. But, right, that's what I'm saying. So I'm starting to think, you guys, like our lives are really going to be unscripted, unplanned. Pretty much. We are going to cover tonight's topic because there's a lot of things we know about and opinions about potentially why girls are, I don't want to say going missing. In some cases, it's not, but we want to talk about that topic. Well, they are. No one knows where they are. No one knows. So technically gone missing. Yeah. And we've noticed this, and as many of you have commented in our recent videos too, and on this community post, like, what in the world is up with Kingsport? What is going on? It's not getting better. It just seems to be getting worse, in my opinion. I mean, is this normal, you guys? Like, those of you who don't live in Tennessee or near Kingsport, in your community, do you hear about a missing person every month? Or more. Or every other month? Like this? And then it'll happen in clumps sometimes. Like with September. September has like 3. Yeah. September had 3. And it doesn't make any sense. If you look at the thumbnail of this live, you guys, 3 of them were September. And one of them, I know, Jenna, that's the first thing that comes to mind is, oh no, there's some kind of ring that's trafficking. One of those girls has a habit. There's like a pattern where she ran away in 2020. In 23, she ran away June. Mm-hmm. Immediately got found, and it was like, oh, and you guys, there are people claiming she's been found because they find the news article about the last time she was found in 2023. They don't look at the date. So she ran away again. She ran away in September. They think she ran out of the Link House, which is for girls, sort of like helping girls in need, and she ran away. She just left. That happens a lot, though. Runaways all the time. If she was in a place like that, maybe, she could have gotten into drugs or something. I think drugs definitely, Rain Dancer. In Kingsport, it's pretty bad. It's bad. And I think it's worse than any other place we've lived. We see it all the time. That's interesting. Oops. That's interesting. That's what I've been saying. Tennessee is 90% for danger of missing people, kids. So in my opinion, Tennessee is a trafficking state. Looks like it, huh? My sister moved away because she did research and found the same thing. And she's like, they lived in Nashville, and Nashville's pretty bad. Oh, that's why they moved away? Part of it. She was like, I don't like the stats. And they just had a little girl. Right. And it's like, it feels like almost a dangerous state to have children. Yeah, I think. To raise children. And you're here in Johnson City, you're in Kingsport, you're like, oh, we're in the country, it's safe. You think it's safe because you're in the country. And East Tennessee is less city-like than most of Tennessee, and it's a whole different, it's worse. It's a whole different thing because of the culture, like the drug culture. It's the drug culture. Yeah. Yeah, that's true, Stephen. They're not required to stay. For some reason, they were like, they said she ran away, but maybe it's because she has a history. Oh, yeah, he's right about that. I mean, at a certain age, though. it's the kids that don't have stable lives that could be runaways, also most likely to be trafficked. The ones that don't have stable lives often have parents who are on drugs. It's like generational.
Yeah.
And I got to tell you guys what I'm seeing a pattern, I think, around here. And I'll tell you a story. I think I might have already mentioned it to you all before, but I'm going to say it again. Oh no, our freaking camera. We may be off camera for a while.
What happened?
A lot of people do lives like this, so hey.
I always find it a little bit annoying.
Yeah, I know it is annoying. Do you mind, if you don't mind unplugging, just trace the cable? I'm going to tell them this story in the back of that camera. We're going to keep on limping along without video, you guys. But what I've noticed. No, go around the back of the computer, trace the cable to the computer, unplug it, plug it back in. It's that box right there. Yeah. Hold up, you guys. Are we right there? Yep.
Don't count on me when it comes to technology. That's all I have to say.
So funny. Can you guys hear us? Give us a well. Actually, it doesn't say our mic is disconnected, so I think we're good.
Are we good, guys?
Yeah, it looks like we're good. Wow. Oh my gosh. I'm like, hey Jen, just trace the cable.
Okay, tell them I did the right cable. I don't know.
She did find the right USB cable, but then I don't know. You unplugged the whole computer from all the devices. Okay. So where was, oh yeah. It started with the Layla Santinello case. Started that whole thing because I noticed, I'm like, okay, Layla was having issues with drugs. She also was struggling to get mental health support from the community. And like Rain Dancer said, lack of mental health support, lack of mental health funding, they turn to drugs. Like people self-medicate. And in her case, that's kind of what was happening. And those are the girls, same with Holland. She had issues with drugs, got disappeared. And eventually we got contacted by a girl who got out of that scene, you guys. Like she knew Layla. She had seen Layla before she disappeared, the night before she disappeared. And I asked her, like her mom reached out to me and she's like, my daughter saw Layla. And I'm like, did you report it to authorities? And she goes, she doesn't even know who to talk to. Yeah. So I'm like, okay, first of all, we're going to get that straightened out. And I have the name of the detective in Kingsport, called him to ask, hey, do you want me to bring them over there? Do you want to I'll help them, call you up on the phone and you can talk to them. No answer, no reply. Of course, he might have been on vacation because I only gave him like 2 days. So I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to record her statement on video using StreamYard. I just recorded a statement from her and sent that to TBI. I found out, and the detective called me on Monday, and he's like, he asked what it was all about, and I said, hey, she saw Layla the night before, where she was. She witnessed events, and she hasn't reported it. So he's like, all right, just give me their names. So I think he reached out to them after. Afterwards, yeah, he called the Monday after, yeah. So he eventually got in touch with me. Maybe he was on vacation or something.
But after the interview, you guys, not really an interview, a recorded statement, um, she started opening up to me like about what the scene is like in Kingsport. Girls who are on drugs and the hey, you guys all there? Could you? Yeah, okay. We I'm so afraid we have tech issues. She told us a story, you guys. She told me a story, and this is gonna freak you out if you haven't heard this from me before. I thought I said it in another lie, but I might not have. She said that she went from trap house to trap house. That's what girls in the area do. They just go where they can get drugs, and there are people who serve up the drugs, and they call them trap houses. And there's trap houses all around. But she said there's one particular trap house that she was in Bristol, Tennessee. And all these girls were in a basement. They were high as hell. They were like, they were all high. They were on whatever they got at the trap house, probably fentanyl. I don't know. Who knows? She said that there was a van that pulled up, a few guys got out, and they started interviewing the girls who were at the trap house, asking about demographics. Do you have family? Where do you live? Like weird shit. Like why would they want to know if they have family, if they have siblings, all that kind of stuff? Almost like they were sizing them up, getting information about their lives, and they selected girls to like, let's go. And they went out with the guys. Of course, they're high.
They must have given them some sort of incentive, like drugs or something.
Probably. And those girls got in the van, and the girl was like, I have no idea what happened to them, she said. And so that made me think. And she said, I said, do you think there's a ring? Do you think there's a trafficking ring, and they're using drugs in the area to entice young girls to just, well, not entice, but like to make them vulnerable and weak.
Yeah.
So they can't say no. They don't want to say no. Yeah. Okay. See, that's
that sounds like it.
That's
right?
creepy. Yep. And that may be if they drop them off, that sounds like almost like a pimping operation kind of deal. You know what I mean? Well, it's just trafficking. But she said, this girl said, because of that experience, she felt like the traffic, it felt like a big operation, and it goes through Bristol. It goes through Bristol, Tennessee. It made me start thinking that there is some kind of operation working in this area more than or as much as like a Nashville or a Memphis. I'm sure they're there too, but it seems like
it's traded, so we realize it because it's probably just one group. It's not like in Nashville it'd be like all kinds of different.
Yeah, you're right.
What I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
it's so concentrated here. That's why we see it happening. Maybe
there are gangs here. There are organizations. A lot of them don't do that kind of thing, but some of them are more than happy to. So it almost feels like, hey, East Tennessee chick. Knowing, like, figuring out who's behind all this is so hard. And the scary part of it is that when you've got trafficking and drugs together, that's big money. That's big money. Oh, yeah. And to get away with that, I would think you have to have people in government as protection, as cover.
Government.
Yeah.
You mean law enforcement?
Police, judges, maybe. I don't know. I'm not going to say anything against judges, but I don't know. I mean, how can they get away with it? How can they run their operation around here under the radar, and no one is busting these rings? No one's busting these rings. I just don't get it.
I don't know what to say about it. It's beyond me. I just can't get my head around it all.
What was the comment? Oh, I see, the van. It was okay. It was on Scanner Food about Borden Park. Then, hey, local KPD, stake out Borden Park, please. Maybe you'll actually catch someone. P. Diddy did. Yeah, the whole P. Diddy thing is like tip of the iceberg.
That's just blowing this whole thing apart. I mean,
yeah, I agree, Steven.
It's putting it in the limelight, at least. Like, people are taking notice of human trafficking right now because of what happened with him. Like,
yes, P Diddy is kind of bringing,
Yeah,
well, not him, but yeah,
like
it's bringing it to light. Like it's making people realize, hey, this isn't a conspiracy theory. This is something that's happening under your noses, and we have to care, and we have to demand that the government, the local government does something.
Yep.
They need to do something. And I was saying last time, it's just funding mental health so that these girls don't get pulled into that world. I don't know if that's even enough at this point.
It's so hard because I think some of them, most of them wouldn't get mental health unless they are, made to get it. They're not going to go looking for mental health. They're just
no,
out of their
yeah,
mind.
no, right.
And
No, if they're already on drugs, it's like they're self-medicating
so
and
those
they're
are the
fine
people
like that.
need
If they got, I'm saying get the girls early when they need help, when they're trying to seek out help. Get them there before they start using drugs.
Ever.
Holland was seeking help. Yes, actively, and she was struggling, and I think Layla too. Mental health. I didn't want to. I don't remember if I ever heard exactly what it was, but I wasn't going to ask either, so it's been personal. But she was seeking help. Yeah.
On her own or
yeah, and she couldn't, and it's just she just got sucked in. So yeah, the Florida bust. I remember reading about the Florida bust in Polk County. Yeah, of a ring, and that was a ring headed up by a woman, and they had caught most of the ring, like, and they were the military people, like people you would not think would be involved in that kind of thing, and it was shocking. It was shocking. I think there was even a pastor. That's
why people get away with it.
I really think if they did a huge bust like that, and I agree, I wish Sheriff Grady Judd would like coach local PD on doing a bust like that, because I have a feeling they would flush out a whole lot of people. We would be shocked.
I don't know if they want to.
Why? Yeah. I'm not going to go down that road, but we need more.
I don't know.
TBI did an amazing job in Knox County busting a huge ring recently, and they actually recovered missing kids in the ring that were trafficked.
Amazing.
Yes, in Knox County. Like, TBI, please come here and help us.
That would be awesome. We have plenty of need.
Yeah, there was a pastor. That's what I thought, Diana. I know one of them. One of the positions one of those people had. I'm like, how can you be a pastor and involved in that?
Happens all the time. Happens. They get in those positions because people who are vulnerable look up to them. In any of those positions.
That's what's scary. They have power, and kids even, especially, go to them thinking they're gonna.
Like,
yep.
If you need help, who are you gonna go to help for?
Your pastor.
Or to.
Yeah. Or a police officer.
And,
or like,
the
you know what I mean?
Like, any of you need any help on,
Yeah.
And using that against these poor kids.
Yep. You know what Grady said in the news? I loved watching that when they did a press conference, and he was like, and to the leader of this ring, it's like, you are warned. If we get you, he's like, get out of Florida right now. We don't want you here. Get out. And I was like cheering. I'm like, yeah, you tell them. It's like, they're in a position of power in these rings, and they're throwing money around, and they can do whatever the hell they want. And to have law enforcement stand up and say, no, you don't have power here.
Yeah. It takes a lot of guts, because these are people, a lot of them paying their paycheck.
Yeah, know what I mean? Like, probably, or at least part of their paycheck.
Giving money into the government because they have money.
Who was it? Yes. Well, there was who was it? Was it a real officer, or was I watching a movie? There was a cop recently. Oh, where was it? Oh, you know what it was? The couple who found the body recently, Joseph Couch. One of his lives, he was I don't know if he was a sheriff, but he was a police officer. This is the Hayfield and McCoy adventure. You guys probably know. I know you know what I'm talking about. The couple who found Joseph Couch. He did a live recently. I've been watching their lives now because I love the couple. They're so sweet.
Oh, Atlanta.
Oh, my Lanta. And he was saying, you guys, that he was a cop for like 30, 40 years or something. And he goes, the cops were jerks to him when that happened. He said they were contempt of cop is what he called it. And he said that
Contempt of-
unfortunately, cops don't get paid enough without having to supplement somehow. They don't get paid enough. So some of them
That's
start
sad.
supplementing
That's really
somehow.
sad.
Yeah. Some of them probably get a legit side gig and some of them get an illegitimate side gig. And that's what's scary. We need to pay the cops more so that they can't be bought off,
True.
you know?
Yep. I agree.
I don't know. And I'm not saying that's the case here. I'm not saying local
Not
PD's bought
necessarily,
off.
no. We're just going on, what
Why
has happened in other places.
why is it not being attacked? Like full force go after these people. And even if they're runaways, even if these girls are, some will say, well, maybe it's not a abduction, maybe they're not trafficked because they're just a runaway. Well, half the runaways, like many of you said earlier, are
Mhm.
from broken homes who have parents on drugs and they end up going on drugs because they're in a troubled home.
Right.
And so they end up running away, but they're running away to go to drugs probably most of the time. The cases too, you can't find anything, you guys. Like Brianna Weems, I like you. Let me see if I can share this.
Oh, yeah, I tried to look.
It's impossible.
I tried to look into her, but I couldn't find anything. We're talking about Brianna Weems.
First, Brianna Weems. So all you can find is her description.
Yep. When
I
she
had, to,
was
I,
last
I had to go
seen.
to several sites to like find her age and like you could get a description at least here, but what's her age and more details. Some of the flyers don't even have it. But what is creepy, you guys? This is June 21.
That was a while ago.
That might have been the first time.
Yeah.
See, that was the first time. Actually, it was 2024.
Is this the one you said?
No, yeah. See, this is the one that was first. This is one time she ran away. There's a September one.
Just
See if I can
recently.
find it. June, September.
That's 2023.
No, see, that's the 2023 one. I know I found the one that said, see, this is the site that said she was found safe. And actually, you know what? That might have been the June
So
time.
confused.
Yeah.
And then,
See how confusing it is?
Okay,
And
sorry.
now, September, this girl just keeps disappearing. Just keeps
just
running away.
keeps running away.
Yeah.
It's hard to not hard to take it seriously, but it's hard to focus on someone who runs away
Yeah.
constantly.
Well, and that's my point.
I don't know how to put it.
A lot of people are like, well, then she's obviously a runaway and she
Yeah.
obviously just keeps on doing this, but there's a reason she keeps
Right.
doing it. And what's she doing when she runs away? I have a feeling,
Yeah.
and I don't want to accuse her of anything either, but I have a strong feeling that it potentially has to do with drugs. But you guys, like,
So sad.
also trying to help in these cases, one of the reasons, like, we struggle with new missing people like Brianna. There's another one in the town we were just in. I
Mhm.
wish my brain worked better tonight. A little east of here, there was a girl who disappeared. She was 17. She was in a white car, and they announced that, and I'm like, oh man, that would be easier to find someone who's running around trying to run away in a white car. And
I guess, but there are a lot of cars.
well, no, you have the type, you have the
Yeah,
make,
yeah.
and we had more details because they mentioned that she had threatened self-harm.
Okay.
So now you've got an issue with self-harm. You go look in places where people might, you know what I mean, like where they might self-harm.
Yeah.
Like the poor girl who was with the pastor and she went to a park.
I think I heard
The big case. I'm not good with names. I'm not good with
I'm
remembering
sorry.
it. She went in a park and offed herself after calling 911, and she's like,
I just don't.
okay, people might actually tell us, but so that if you have a little more details, then maybe you could actually get in your car and you could go out and try to find this girl, use the description of her car, go places. If she's said she's going to self-harm, then that gives you clues and you kind of know where maybe you could help.
But these cases, if you look at Brianna Weems, and let's look at the Tennessee, actually.
New one.
Alexis Shears, I think she was another one on there. 130. Yeah. Yes. That's the September one. I'm going to go to the Tennessee. I'll show you guys the 3 that are most recent. Let me find it first. You guys can do this too. Keep an eye on the list. Tennessee missing. If you type in Tennessee missing, there's tn.gov has Tennessee missing persons. I'll share this with you. It's a good idea to keep an eye on this because if you because if you do miss an alert or something, this keeps pretty good track of all of them, and it's not just children, it's active missing adults, it's active missing child alerts. The alerts are like the Layla Santinello. This is the girl who went missing in her car. See, this is what I'm saying, like we could have gone and looked, but obviously this one got resolved pretty quick. This was on September 20 because it was probably they knew more and where she was, that she had a car, they probably tracked her car, or she pinged somewhere and they resolved it. But the alerts are where you have like Sebastian, Holland. The younger children are on the other page. And this is where I noticed this whole thing. Let me make sure I didn't lose you guys. I have to use one monitor. I'm going to blame Jen. The other monitor is like, I don't know what I'm doing. Let me see if I can.
Oh, it's cold down here.
Let me
right?
see if I can get the other monitor.
It's cold.
Yeah, why do you think I have a sweatshirt?
Oh, you mind if I go get
No,
a sweater?
Yeah, the monitor is totally dead. Yeah, this site, you guys, is, I noticed here you got Maggie Mixzek, September 14th of this year. That was like, what, a week ago? Let me check. That was like a week ago. She's 5'3". I think she's, a lot of them are the same height. I noticed that. The weights they don't seem to match. So I don't think that's a pattern, but they're shorter girls. I mean, for girls, that's not short, but this is like the average height. There's Alexis Shears, September 14th, which makes you think maybe they ran away together or they disappeared together, or a lot of times runaways they'll go in pairs with their friend. But again, it's really hard to find the details of these cases and they don't tell the public unless you can get in touch with the family, unless you can reach out to the parents, which probably everyone, they're probably inundated with people trying to get information. So as a general citizen, if you want to help, you can't get a whole lot of details from these pages. Let me show you, like, Maggie. What's on the page? You've got her age, description, last seen wearing gray Under Armour hoodie and dark leggings. That's it. They just want to know if you've seen her. They don't give you any, like, where was she last seen? Who saw her last? And maybe not even who, but at least like general where. In the Layla Santinello case, they did start giving more information in the media. Like it wasn't always accurate. They thought she was sighted in the ice cream shop, and that turned out to be false. But at least they started releasing things to the public. But a lot of these cases, there's Maggie, very little information, and Alexis. I think there was a little more on there.
How much?
No, it was just what she was wearing: black shorts, a shirt, glittery Crocs, and that's it. If you have more information, also they don't. You guys. Well, let me talk about the other ones first, and then we'll go down this rabbit hole too. And then there's a third one, Brianna Reams. Of course, she was the first in September. So there's 3 in September. Either there is an epidemic of runaways. All these girls are just running away.
It's when school starts. They don't want to go to school.
Yeah. You know what? It's a lot of stress. It's a stressor. School is a stressor. Maybe the September, actually seasonal affective too.
Yeah. I mean,
the season's changing.
Right here, that doesn't start so soon. I mean, it's already still warm out.
Yeah. You guys, like,
I don't know.
And that's why we often don't jump immediately on to try to, like, jump in the car. Like the other day when I heard about the girl in the white car, your first gut when you start doing this type of, it's last responder type of work, you almost get addicted to, like, okay, let's see if we can help. Vern was telling me stories about
where he did that, where one older gentleman disappeared, and the cops were actually at least providing some information, but not enough. Just like this, they don't put a lot out there. But Vern actually knew the brother, reached out to the brother, I think, and the brother was like, "Yeah, he was headed up in the direction on some route." And so Vern determined, like, on that route, the stopping points, and he had dementia too,
Oh.
and he had like health issues or something. So
Oh,
Vern
yeah.
was like, "I'm just going to ride on this road, and I'm going to go to all the parking lots, because if he has health issues, maybe he pulled over.
That's true.
He was having a health emergency."
Could be.
And so he's driving up through the mountains, stopping at all the rest areas to stop, and he pulls into one. There was like a building. I don't know if it was a rest area with a building, and his truck was there.
No way.
The guy's truck was there, and Vern pulls up, and he's like, "I think I just found him." And he got out of his car, walked over to the truck, and the guy is the guy's laying in the back seat, completely out.
Ooh.
He was
alive?
passed out. He was dead.
He was dead?
He was. I don't know. So Vern didn't get in the vehicle,
Oh, okay.
but it looked like it. I think he could
Well, he
determine
must have
maybe
pulled
the
up and
coloration.
somebody found him.
Immediately called the police, and he's like, "I think I found the guy." And they went up there with his flashlight. He was
He
looking
had
in the
passed
back,
away?
and he's like, "Yeah, he looks like he's no." And he turned to Vern, and he's like, How'd you find him?" He goes, I was just driving on the road looking for places he would have stopped."
Yeah.
And the cop was shocked. You know what I mean? Like, they had been searching
What a
the
fool.
woods and everything. Yeah. So, you know, you can, like, people can help. If you hear about someone has disappeared, especially older people, when they just disappear either in the woods on a trail or they disappear on a road trip, like, you can, if you can get information a little bit about where they were intending on going, what's their state of mind, you
But
can,
people are making a good point
yeah,
that social media has like made this just like blow up because they're grooming kids and
girls are being like that, guys they're talking to on social media. Yes, the online dangers are so bad. It's only getting worse. The Oh man, that when I talked to the FBI years ago about the dangers of like, even just the gaming sites, when your kids go on, like, I think even Minecraft has a chat feature or something.
they do.
They all have these chat features, and
Right.
these predators, they do go on there and they act like they're a 14-year-old, and they become friends with these kids. And it's like, and the FBI, what they did is they would stage sting operations where they would, like, pretend to be a kid too, a female, on these games, and they'd like try to draw in predators, and then they'd actually meet them and arrest them and stuff.
Just a while ago, there was a television show where this woman pretended to be like a young girl to lure.
Yep. And then they go in and they arrest them. They do a sting operation. They would. I'll tell you what, though, the FBI is so advanced. They will work on hacking too. So they'll get messages from these guys, and they don't want to bust. They want to bust the ring, and they want to bust the ring leaders. So they need to identify the ring, and they'll actually, through messaging, or they'll get them to email them or something, and somehow get a hold of their IP if they can. Then they get into their computer and they'll put like a tracking virus, like a malware that tracks communications from that computer to the other ring members. And so they eventually can electronically track an entire ring. So these guys who think, and women, there are some women in the ring.
Oh, I know.
Yeah. They don't realize how advanced law enforcement is, and they can be tracked.
A lot of times they'll use women as front people because it makes kids
trust them.
Yeah.
Kids trust them easier.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. A lot of times they're like the head of a pimping operations, prostitution rings, things like that. Because of that, like, they can groom. Well, who's that big? See, you guys' names. Please tell me the name of the guy who got offed in prison because he was. And I think the woman who was helping him was Geraldine or Margaret or something like that.
No idea.
They're gonna help me. I know they will. Everyone was like, "Oh man, he knows too much about too many high-ranking traffickers," and they killed him in prison. It was a huge case.
Jenna, I think maybe we should go back to that.
Go back to what?
Not allowing online access to our
kids. that's where it's headed. Don't freak out. Like if you have children who are on social, thank you, Epstein. Yes, I knew you guys would save me. When it comes to names, I'll just be like, I'll vaguely describe something and everyone
Yeah.
knows. So Epstein had a groomer, and she
Okay.
would go to like teenage girls, and she would like kind of they would give them gifts, and they would like
Yep.
the groom basically
Right.
get them ready and train them to like give massages to high ranking rich people.
Right.
And then eventually it became more than
Of
that. And it
course.
was like, because they would,
That's what grooming is.
oh my
Start out
gosh.
with
Yeah, Epstein.
gifts, and
Yep,
you know
Epstein.
you get them to trust you, and
She's,
it.
in my opinion, I mean, obviously he was running the operation, but she's just as guilty drawing in kids and actually doing the work to groom them. It's horrible. But if you have kids who are on these games and on social media, toward the end of my article, when I interviewed the FBI, it was about the tech side of protecting your kids. And you don't have to be paranoid and like kill all their internet access and don't let them ever use the internet. There are really good, like,
Tracking,
they're
right?
the tools that you put on their phone, kids know how to turn it off. But if you do the research, there's some advanced software you can install on a and if you have anyone in IT, like a techie person in your family, just ask them about it. You can install software on your home network, on your router even. You can block traffic to certain types of sites. So like those sites where teenagers will go on and they may have risque conversations that you shouldn't have.
And then there's the dark web.
You can block that. You can block access to the browser, the Tor browser, where they go to the dark web. You can block that. So you block traffic on your main hub out to the internet. You can block that and just let your kids use Minecraft. But the most important thing beyond installing software to protect your kids is so many people are scared to talk to their kids about this topic
Which is,
because it has to do with
yeah,
uncomfortable topics. Like
I know, but
somebody's going to
these
want to talk
days,
to you about this XYZ, you know what I mean? And
right?
a lot of people struggle to talk to their kids about that to begin with.
Well, it's like this day and age. It's the stranger danger for this day and age, right?
It is. That's how strangers now get access to kids. It's
Yeah.
online. But you have to talk to your kids if you need, and younger the better. I know it's uncomfortable to talk to your kids who's like 11, 10, not 10. Maybe that's too. No, 10 they
10,
start.
yeah, even 8. Kids
They
play Minecraft when
they
they're like
do
8,
very
right?
young, yes. And so you have to Jen had a picture book that very prudely, in my opinion, very carefully broached the topic of, how do you say it politely, how babies are made, right? It's like, how do we talk to our kids about, well, let's read a book at an appropriate age, and it introduces them to, this is how boys and girls work. This is how babies are made. And it does it in a not disgusting way. It's like really just, it's almost really biological. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I mean,
you have to have that conversation, you guys. Like, you
yeah,
have to. So if they understand that concept, then you can say, by the way, there are strangers on the internet who are who want to get to know you. They want to draw you out of our home and the safety of your family. And I don't know if you should, I don't know about tying it directly to that topic because it's,
yeah, I don't.
I don't
That's a
know.
touchy
It's
one.
so before we talk to our kids about that and about the book, like we decided on the book approach because we couldn't, like, what's the appropriate age? What can you say? Like, what words can you
Yeah,
use and not use? And it's kind of
they'll
inappropriate.
understand, but
Yeah, the
not
stork
get
brings
grossed
babies,
out.
right? So it's gentle, but you have to have it. It's uncomfortable for you as a parent too. But if you don't have it and they turn 13, you know what? Kids are doing stuff at 13 years old.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
sorry.
getting younger.
They are.
I know.
And like they need to be educated before that. Um, and these girls, like, they are getting drawn out. They're
Mhm.
getting pulled out of their homes by these
And
predators.
boys.
And some boys too. Yeah, you're right. Yep. Yeah, it's scary to think that once they hit teens and they start interacting with other, once they start using drugs, they become more vulnerable, more, what's the word when you have less discretion or whatever?
My brain is.
They
not
have less
working today.
discretion and they can't make appropriate
What was
decisions
it?
and
Inhibition.
inhibitions. It reduces their inhibitions. You go to parties, get high, and that's what happens. But
Somebody can slip something into your drink,
good, Jenna.
right? That's good.
Just tell them good and bad persons that could do either do mean things or persons that do good things. That's right. That's right. But I agree, Keisha. I think the root cause of all of these disappearances, I really think it comes down to drugs in this community.
Unfortunately.
In Kingsport, especially. I mean, when we first started moving here, we were looking to move here, you guys, and looking for a place to live. We drove Kingsport, Johnson City, the gray area. We drove. I don't know if we went toward Rogersville because it was so out in the middle of nowhere.
Kingsport first because that's where you were.
Closest to Kingsport because like no commute.
Right.
But then we were driving through downtown, you guys, and it was like, is that person high over there?
Yeah.
Is that person crossing the road high? And you guys know when like
it's everywhere around. It's not just Kingsport.
No, it's not just Kingsport, but Kingsport we noticed it more.
Yeah.
We started noticing it. And you can tell when someone has been on like meth for a long time, they have that look. They have that gaunt look and bad teeth and all that stuff. And you could count. I could go live right now, get in my car, drive through Kingsport, and I guarantee you we'll count 5 people who look like that walking the street. It would be a very inappropriate live, but at least 5. I don't get it. I don't. It's an epidemic. It's an epidemic.
Yeah.
Do you see any graffiti? Are you kidding me? In Kingsport, there's so much, especially if you go to the parks and like the concrete tunnels at the parks, there's graffiti everywhere. And I don't know. They got to clean up the town. The park's beautiful. A lot of the parks are actually like the Greenbelt Trail, you guys.
But I saw some really questionable stuff on the Greenbelt Trail when I was running there before.
Did you see that was questionable on the Greenbelt?
I don't even want to say there were guys in disarray.
In disarray?
Obviously doing something they shouldn't do.
Guys doing something they shouldn't do. I guess you don't have to elaborate. That sounds really scary, like inappropriate.
And I think they were doing
drugs.
Yeah.
Why can't you say they're doing drugs?
I don't know. I don't like.
You had my brain going in a totally wrong direction on that one. You're like, saw 2 guys and I can't say what they were doing.
Okay, one of the guy was leaning over talking to this other guy and his pants had come down. Okay. I saw things I should not have seen. I do not want to go on the Greenbelt anymore.
That was on the Greenbelt?
Yeah.
So you were trying to run and you saw one guy's pants drop.
So I ran away the other way.
Woo. Wow. Yeah, the Greenbelt. I can't stop laughing now. Yes, the dysfunction of the.
Sorry, I'm trying not to distract you.
We're from the generation. Like I grew up, what nuclear family was what maybe our parents' generation, or not quite ours. 50s was a nuclear family.
Yes.
And then we were the latchkey kids. Generation X was latchkey kids. Yeah. It might have been a flasher. I don't know.
Maybe, but he was talking to some. I don't know. It was just not a good situation.
This is maybe. This is a good topic because you know how you and I decided with the kids we're going to go back to the old school. We have supper together. We sit down at the table and we talk about school and we have supper together. And I think that made a huge difference in their lives. I really do.
Of course, we don't do it anymore.
But well, as they get older, they're like, nah, can I please go in my room?
I guess so. You are 24.
Yeah. But yeah.
Okay, Real Rock Robin.
Lucy, that I do think that has an impact. I know that girls without fathers statistically, actually not just girls, children without fathers, not that fathers are more important,
I know.
but the aspect of there's different aspects that
Strong.
they do stronger in certain areas if they have a mother, and they do stronger in certain areas if they have a father, and if they have both. And I know I've
or if they just have a
or it doesn't have to be natural, obviously. It can be two parents who bring different things to the I got to be careful
relationship.
to the child rearing. And I do know that the more masculine person who is the parent, if they don't have a foundation like that, like like structure and solid, they do worse in school. They're more likely to get involved in crime, and they're more likely to get involved in drugs. And so you do need a whole well-rounded what the feminine brings to parenting and what the masculine brings to care. Probably it's just they have more stability, they feel more stable, and they find ways to they're less emotionally. They also said that these kids are less likely to react strongly emotionally, like their emotional regulation. They can regulate their emotions better. They learn as they're growing up how to regulate their emotions better. But anyway,
in general.
yeah, yes, family has tons to do with it.
Yes.
And if you've got, yeah, I agree. You know what? And it's not. That's why I try to say it's not specifically a father. And a lot of people who are in very unconventional families have the strength, the inner strength to do great. Like they do great in life. So, but when you talk about statistics, they're always like they take a sample size and they kind of ignore the outliers. So I would say like you're an outlier. You had that inner strength to do amazing in school, to do amazing to avoid crime. So
hopefully,
yeah, what I just said doesn't apply to everyone, and statistics can't apply to everyone.
It's like if the family you're in, whatever that looks like, is strong.
That's good. Yeah.
Then
yeah,
because there are plenty of families with two parents that are horrible.
I agree. It's not having both parents, it's not having dysfunction. Because some families with two parents are highly dysfunctional, and they still don't do
it would be better if they were not together.
Yeah. Dysfunction is the problem. When you have domestic violence, when you have any kind of dysfunction like that, it affects the kids so strongly. And if the parents are doing drugs, then it's going to increase the odds that there's going to be dysfunction. So it's like generational. And I really do think it's that. The green belt. The other thing about the green belt, by the way, other than that you saw pants drop on the green belt, is to me it's the most surreal thing. That part of Kingsport, when I walk through it and I see people who look like they work in an office, they have like they're riding bikes, they're jogging, they're well kept, they're well dressed or whatever.
Coiffed.
They're well coiffed. Is that a word? Coiffed. And you see them and they're oblivious because they're like, it's a beautiful trail. Some parts stink for some reason, but overall, like there are wetlands with beautiful, they built these platforms, these wooden platforms you can walk on over the wetlands.
Wildlife.
And you can view wildlife, and it's beautiful. But then you walk 10 feet off the greenbelt into the woods. What?
I'm sorry.
He was on the green. This one?
Yes.
Without a belt. Yes. And 10 feet in, and you will find homeless. You haven't seen graffiti. Go to you know what, Kathy? It might be because I walk places most people don't. Like, I'll go down tunnels and then all the graffiti starts. And I go in places like where a lot more homeless people live, and that's where you see tons of graffiti. Look at the bridge I went under. Of course, that was more like gray. But you go under any bridge, you're going to see graffiti everywhere. But most people don't go under bridges. So that's probably why I think there's more graffiti.
You've got most people, and you have Ryan.
Yeah.
That's all I'm going to say.
But the green belt, you go 10 feet off the trail and you've got homeless people. And it's a lot of the trail, you guys. There's just the couple times I went recently, I found the wonderful couple who's just surviving out there. There's another neighbor they have living right near them who's homeless. There's one guy living out there who's not homeless, but he likes to go out there and camp for some reason. I don't get that. Well, I do. I mean, maybe he just wants to. Yeah, I depends where you go, I guess, where the graffiti. But then the other end of the Greenbelt, you guys know that abandoned water park where there's like a pond, there's a nursing home. Well, you saw the video that I did with Shane too. Well, there's that area where there's homeless there. We saw a homeless guy doing something in the outhouse, and he asked Shane for a hammer.
Wait, what? I missed something.
This guy was in the outhouse.
That sounds really bad. Worse than what I was talking about.
The outhouse, the potty, whatever it's called, the porta potty, and he was doing something in there, and Shane got out of the car, and this guy's like, "Hey, do you have a hammer?" Shane's like, in his head, he's like, "There's no way in heck I'm going to give you a hammer, for one thing."
If I did, I would give it to you.
It turns out he was working on his bike. He was trying to work on his bike. I don't know why he was in the porta potty. He was like messing with the toilet paper. Maybe he thought there would be a hammer in the porta potty or something. It was weird. Drive by Eastman and it's on every train car. Yeah, that's a good point.
You should know that.
Oh, that's not all of them. They actually keep them pretty clean, but there are some, especially the ones that are on the outskirts of the campus. What? I have all these jokes today. Maybe a snake in the grass.
Don't make people mad at me. I get distracted too easy.
Okay. Yeah, there's graffiti throughout Kingsport. I don't know if it's more graffiti than, I don't know why we're debating graffiti in Kingsport. Somebody asked if there's graffiti.
Is there graffiti?
There's definitely graffiti in Kingsport.
As
far as the percentage out there, if it's really bad, I don't know. I don't have an opinion. I've seen a lot, but I go places most people don't go. So
somebody can go do a census of the graffiti if they want to.
Tell you what, while we're out there, I'll keep a track of how much graffiti there is in Kingsport. So yeah, there's I don't know. Those 3 cases. Oh, Memphis, you guys, like, look at this though. I keep saying Kingsport's bad, but check this out.
Yeah, but I mean, comparing the size of Kingsport to the size of Memphis. I don't know.
Maybe population wise, you're right. Population wise, there should not be in September 3 people going missing, 3 girls going missing. But you've got Clarksville. Actually, I don't think it's that far, is it? You guys would know. I always have to Google still. I don't recognize a lot of towns that are nearby other than Irwin and Unicoi and Antioch.
Antioch's close.
Antioch is, and that was only August. So you got a lot of Memphis. Goodlettsville, I don't know. I think that's near Memphis, maybe. Clarksville. Hold on. You guys, is Clarksville near Nashville? Clarksville. I know that. I feel so embarrassed.
Greenville, he's close.
No, that's the Greenville guy, but that got resolved.
Oh, okay.
Thankfully that got resolved. I remember hearing about his case.
Some of them getting resolved.
You know what? The other thing too. Well, let's go through these. So you've got Knoxville, which that's near us. That's East Tennessee.
Bedford County.
That's scary. See what I mean? Like that scares me. That's the same as Holland and Layla. 410.
Can they see what?
Yeah, I shared this. 410, 120 pounds.
Yeah, they're all.
I keep seeing small women, even though she's 16. She's tiny, and that seems to be a pattern.
Knox County, Nashville, Columbia.
A lot of Nashville. Did they misspell Knoxville? What in the world? Nashville. Morristown's near us. We were there. We were near there today. July 24, just earlier this year. And why would they not know her weight or her hair? Oh yeah, they just don't know her weight. Why would they not? Whatever. I don't. Do the parents not know her weight?
She's fairly tall.
She is pretty tall. This is a crazy long list. Like what in the world? I'm only halfway through. There's Churchill. Caden. I remember. That's the one. That's the one I remember hearing about.
Wasn't too long ago.
He's a tall dude. I'm shocked this isn't resolved yet, you guys. Like, I remember hearing about this case, and I was debating covering it and trying to learn more because I thought it was so recent.
He's a big guy.
I thought Caden's case was so recent that it would. You know what?
Would get resolved.
Statistically, you guys, most of the disappearances they get resolved. Most
Not
of them
around
get
here.
resolved, but around here they just drag
But only
on. Yeah. Does anyone know more about Caden's case? I'm curious because I'm really been thinking about looking into his case. Last thing we need is a fourth case, but if there's more information and it might be an easier search, just figuring out potential locations, maybe it's worth. Especially if sometimes these locations merge. If you're looking for places Layla might be or Holland might be, Holland's a little more difficult. But Layla and if Caden might be in similar locations, then you're kind of doing dual searches.
He's like opposite though. He's a guy. He's very tall, very like big guy.
Unfortunately, in cases like the male cases, there's more often violence involved.
Yeah,
more often violence involved. The slower the reaction to law enforcement. The more cases. I wonder why, Stephen. Do you think it's because the culprits or the predators kind of recognize that the law enforcement is slow reaction?
They won't figure this out for a while, type of thing.
Or they're just not as capable. They don't have the resources. That's scary. It's like a snowball effect, isn't it? But yeah, if anybody knows more about, I really want to know more about Caden's case. And if anybody watches this after this live and you know the family, or anybody I can get more information about Caden, I would really like to learn more because Churchill is right next door. More Memphis, more Tennessee.
Bedford County.
I'm sorry, Nashville. Bedford County, that's another case that I highlighted. I don't think
4'8" and 84.
See,
she's 14.
She's tiny. She's tiny.
4'8", 84 pounds.
She is very tiny. I highlighted, put that on our list of potential ones to pick up too. But again, I can't get information. I can't get information. I don't know who the parents are. There's no news articles out there. There's no YouTubers covering her case. And so unless I can get a PI to help me out or the investigating officer is willing to talk, I can't get anything. I don't know where to look. I don't know where to help look. This one too. I highlighted hers. She's not that far away. Washington County is Johnson City.
She's still
only 110 pounds.
Yeah, so she's
in the height range of the other girls. So you guys, it's not just Kingsport. Like this is Johnson City. This is not far away either. And they are roughly the same. They're tiny girls. So you know what? The list is longer than what I thought. It's not just 5. There's these 2. I don't know. I don't know about you guys, but I'm seeing a pattern. I'm seeing a pattern around here.
Definitely. I mean,
and they're not exactly the same size, but they're roughly either an average female height.
They're tiny,
but they're smaller. They're like
is taller, but she was only 110 pounds.
They're tiny.
So she's tiny.
And it started in 2023. Early 2023 is when it really picked up. It seems like, in my opinion,
they'd be much easier to, abduct because they are so small.
Hold on, I think we got some good conversations here. Cool. Yes, good point, Robin. That site, they have their posters. There's other sites that actually make posters too, and it's great. They make them printable too.
For free?
Yep. You just have to print it, pay for the ink. I don't know. It feels like a pattern. It's starting to feel like a pattern. And I'm not a conspiracy theorist, you guys. I don't like conspiracy theories.
You like talking about conspiracy
I do.
theories.
Yeah. See, Stephen, and I was almost looking, I was like, oh, wow. There's starting to be a pattern of redheads there's 2 or 3 of them, the redheads, but no. It's like their appearances don't seem to matter in this case, but their size does. Yeah.
It makes a lot of sense if it's for nefarious reasons.
You're right. They almost like don't care about the age as long as they appear younger, in my opinion.
Yeah. Easy to.
Yeah, like Robin said, smaller and defenseless. Yep. Yep. Oh, hey, Glenn. Her name is Jen, and it's Jen with one N. A lot of people make the mistake and put Jen. But thanks for coming in. It's good to see you.
Call me Jen. I'm fine.
So, okay, who did they arrest? Nance Joe. 2 guys that live with them. Let's catch up with this. Nance Joe. They're saying someone got arrested.
There it is.
They know who took Michael Vaughn. Okay. That's a faraway case.
That's a while ago.
Hey, did you follow the case?
Well, I heard a little bit about it, but
Unfortunately, I can only focus on local for now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's Linda. I agree. I think it's the younger looking.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's true too. Easier to abduct.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
They can be held down easier. Yeah. Man, you know what? If you have a girl who is small in stature, please get her into a martial arts class. At the very least, she'll be able to get in out of a hold, and she'll be able to potentially severely injure. They can break knees. You learn how to quickly break someone's knee, bust their Adam's apple so they can't breathe, bust their nose, get out of a chokehold. Katrina learned all those tricks. She was showing me you get a hold of someone's wrist and how you can completely disable them.
Yeah. It's important.
You got to have self-defense, especially girls.
Just to give themselves a feeling of safety. Like they're not defenseless. Confident.
They will have more confidence. But the other thing too, and this is controversial, I hope I don't get in trouble for saying this, but I need to say it because I would say it to my son too. And how do I get this? Oh, there we go. Hide current comment. I'm not saying this just for girls or just for women. I'm saying this for everyone. Situational awareness is so important. If you're going to go to a bad part of town, you're taking risks that you should not take. Do you have to go there? If you have to go there, do you have to go there at night? It's like every place you go, understand the criminal element, understand what's happening around you, who's standing on the street corner, who's standing in the alley there, keeping an eye on people. And it's like,
and you have to keep your wits about you, because if you are drunk or you're on drugs, you're not going to know what's going on around you.
Getting drunk just adds to the risk. And you got to do all the things to keep your risk low. Don't go places that are dangerous when you're drunk. That's the worst.
Especially not alone.
Not saying kids can't drink, especially if they're 21. You can't drink, but drink responsibly and drink in places where you can get home safely.
Right. Have friends around you.
Have
watching
good
your
friends
drinks.
with you.
If you have to go to the restroom,
carry a loud whistle.
Have a friend watch your drink if you have to go to the restroom.
Yes. Teach that to your kids. Like there are, and maybe I'm assuming all parents know this, but when girls start going when they're 21, or not even 21, when they start drinking and they go to parties, there's that pattern of, and it's not just boys looking to take advantage. There's predators at these parties, some of these parties, and they will slip the
Well, I'm just saying, drugs. In general, that happens.
Yes. Yep. Good, Lewisable. I think every kid should be in self-defense, but I know it's expensive too, you guys. I couldn't go to self-defense. I wanted to learn martial arts when I was younger, but I couldn't. Like my parents couldn't afford it, so I was like trying to train myself. I would watch martial arts movies, you guys, and I'd go to my basement and I'd be like trying to learn how to swing the stick. Man, I knocked myself out a few times almost. I like knocked myself hard, but after a while, I self-taught how to basically twirl a stick all the way around myself, and I could do it blindfolded.
That's great. How did that help you in real life?
It did not. Then I took real martial arts when I was 40, and I learned that everything. Actually, I learned that I half taught myself correctly how to fight with a stick.
Well, that's good.
I was halfway there. You can watch martial arts, and you can kind of figure out.
Maybe you should start bringing a stick around with you.
Hey, you can do some damage with a stick.
I know.
You can do some damage with a stick that long.
I just don't see you carrying a stick around all the time.
A walking stick, like a. I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, it's a huge workout. I burned at least 400 in 1 hour class, 400 calories, 300 to 400 calories. If you an hour and a half, it's crazy. Although you can push yourself or you can slack off. So if you take martial arts, don't slack off. I don't drink, but I always hated the idea of being out of control of my actions, not knowing what happened, and I know it leaves me more vulnerable. Yes. Yeah. It's not like you have to tell your it's not like you don't have to drink, but you just have to be aware. Be aware all the time. And if you're going to drink, then know that your awareness is going to degrade. And like Jen said, bring a friend. Bring a friend who's not drinking, and they can keep an eye on you and keep you protected. That goes for boys and girls alike.
Oh, Robin, I'm sorry I had to deal with that.
Oh. Oh, no way.
It's bad.
It must be like, man, it's like you think you're drunk, but you're more drunk than you're supposed to be, kind of thing. Yeah, thank God for cell phones, that's for sure.
Oh, Jenna.
That's the other what? I
See,
totally
she had that. Jenna. That's what I'm talking about.
So good you had a
That's
friend
what I'm
there.
talking
Oh my
about.
gosh. And not even like, yeah, and it's like if you even step away or you look away, keep your hand over your drink. And if you have to walk away and go to the bathroom, that drink is toast. Like dump the drink. You can't go back and start drinking it.
My favorite YouTubers, Annie Elise. She does Annie Elise 10 to Life. She's selling a self safety kit for women now.
Oh, wow.
One of the things in it is a cover for your drink for when you go to the restroom or you step away, you put it over your drink so no one can put something in there.
That's really cool.
She also has other things in there. You might want to go over there and check it out.
Yeah. Andy, because I was in a situation once where I had to make the decision to like, do I drive home right now or do I not? And you kind of tell, and so that 4 to 5 ounces of alcohol an hour, the body processing, you have to, and somehow too drunk to drive, you got to do that calculation. And like, how long do I have to wait and go drink some water somewhere? And like, I don't know, sit in a restaurant and actually, and food can help too.
Yeah.
Food can help absorb, and just wait, like don't drive or call someone.
Yeah. Because being over the limit, it doesn't take much really.
Oh, that's creepy. Bartenders will do it too. Yikes. I never even thought of that.
See, there's just too much to think of.
Yeah.
Like you go out to have a good time.
Look at this. That's how it happened to her. Holy crap. That is crazy, Rob.
Yeah. Is it Lewis?
Yeah, Lewisable.
Lewisable. That's a good idea too.
Yeah, it might look funny, but if anybody asks, you be like, I'm just protecting myself.
I don't think there's people to blame.
Well, it's true. I saw one guy, I don't know if he did it intentionally, but when we were in a restaurant once, he had a can of beer and he put it on the urinal in front of him. I'm like, that's kind of weird. A can of beer. But he was drunk too, so he probably wasn't even
don't want to be too far away from your beer.
Red Dragon Martial Arts in Morristown does weekend situational defense. Cool. Through the week, they do traditional classes, but on weekends, they show stuff that you use day to day. That's really cool.
Good idea.
You reminded me, Chillbilly, too. Gosh, where I went. Mullins, down in Johnson City near ETSU. Mullins Kung Fu. Every now and then, it's open to the public. They do women's self-defense specifically, and it's street self-defense. So it's like how you get out of situations quickly and get away. Then they have general self-defense for everyone too. Like if you just want to be able to protect yourself quickly in like a situation where someone's drunk and they're trying to start a fight with you. And it's not what you expect, you guys. Like it's not like bust their kneecap. Or, it's more like cause the minimum amount of injury to the person that it requires for you to safely get away, escalating along with how they're escalating. So if someone is just calling you a name in a bar, you don't severely injure them. Like you don't go for soft tissue. You don't try to poke their eyes because they're just being a jerk. But if they're coming,
then it could make things worse,
and it could escalate. They could get so angry that it becomes a fight. But if they're getting in your face and they're about to go throw a punch, then you've got an issue, and then you got to escalate to the punch level. Olson Martial Arts in Johnson City does too. Cool. So there's plenty of opportunities locally for for everyone to get a little bit of martial arts training, and you can do it as an adult. A lot of these schools take in adults.
I know there are a lot of YouTube channels too that have really good instruction.
They do. There are some that are not so good. They're funny.
Well, I know. I'm just saying, like, if
but yeah,
I don't know, if
YouTube's
you just
a
want to
good
check it out, it's better than nothing.
A lot of people don't like to work with, like, be in a class with others too. So
Right,
YouTube might be a good self-teaching skills. Yeah. I haven't followed up with the case in some time. Where are the other siblings of Summerall's currently? In my,
That's a good question.
the
Do you know?
all I know, and the last I heard was that they're still in the care of, I want to say the state, but they're in homes, and
They're still out of the home.
They're out of the home, but
Yeah.
they're in homes,
Right.
other homes being cared for. I don't even know if they're local though.
No,
I just
don't
know
think
they're
they
being.
need people.
Yeah.
Glenn, we live in Johnson
Where's
City.
where are we from though?
Oh,
So Glenn,
sorry.
I'm from Northern Maine originally. Jen's from Central Maine. Well, you've been all over.
Central Southern Maine. I was born in Central Maine.
Born in Central Maine.
Yeah.
A lot of what I learned and what I use today in this stuff we do came from my childhood. So I grew up in the mountains, and I don't know. I shouldn't say this because I don't know if locals will appreciate this, but well, I hear a lot of locals like talking about how you know the mountains if you're from the South and you're like a mountain man and you're a holler guy. Um, growing up in the mountains is growing up in the mountains, and it's a tough life, and you have to understand in the wilderness and the mountains, it's a whole different
Right, and on
place.
top of, everything, there was snow.
I was just gonna say, I'll tell you, it's a lot harder walking through a holler when there's like 3 feet of snow and you got snowshoes on. So I don't know, and the mosquitoes in Maine, like you think of mosquitoes here or the bugs here are anything bad. In Maine, they're like birds, and the black flies swarm you. So I learned a lot about survival in the woods under really, really tough conditions, and I did a lot of hunting. So I use a lot of the things I learned in Maine in these woods, but people do make fun of me because sometimes I get the foliage wrong. I never learned foliage, and so
Appalachian.
no, don't say Appalachian around here. Even Justin Chase on our walk, we were talking about correctly pronouncing Appalachian.
I've started doing
It's
it
so
right.
hard, you guys, because we were so into the Appalachian Trail. I can't even say it.
Appalachian.
No, but it's
I'm
Appalachian.
not allowed to. If you're from Maine, if you're doing the trail from Maine down,
You can say Appalachian.
you're doing the Appalachian Trail.
Yes. It's where you start. But if you start in Springer Mountain, then you have to say Appalachian.
I think on this. I probably started.
We're talking about where we grew up. Anything new on Layla's boyfriend? He was arrested the last I knew, and he was in jail. And there were rumors he was. Can't talk about that. Hold on. He's been talking to people, and he's been telling all these different stories about where she potentially is, and we got dragged into one of those searches. Well, not dragged. I still think it could be a true story, but when I took Vern, he was like, it doesn't sound quite right.
Really?
Because it was near the Walmart, behind the Walmart.
Yeah.
And he was saying, how the heck is he going to carry something down this popular trail to the water? So, but yeah, I believe, Tanya, I believe he's still arrested, still in jail, and not talking, not telling one story. Hopefully they're grilling him and they're going to get something out of him. But no progress in that case, unfortunately, as far as I know. Although that search happened that we tried to follow up on near the 5 caves.
Oh, okay.
I want to get back. I want to get back there.
I'm tired.
Exactly 1:29, and all of a sudden Jen's like
1:29.
1 hour and 29. 1 hour and 29 minutes. Yeah.
They probably hate me for doing that.
I mean, this is a real, actually, you guys, this is one of my favorite chat nights. Some of the topics, some of the topics we're really covering are really important. Oh, hey, Grace.
I mean, yeah, it's off topic in some ways because we're not talking about specific searches.
Yeah.
but it's important
Yeah.
to guard against becoming one of these people that we're looking for.
Yep.
It's important.
Yep. Yeah, Grace, I like sometimes going into Justin's chats if I have a night where I just want to take a break. And last night, after we had that conversation, I'm like, I'm just going to go on YouTube. And Justin, man, Justin's the type of YouTuber, he just lives is his thing. He does live. He does live after live.
So he's always doing a live.
When you do more of that type of thing, then you get people who expect lives from you. And so he draws in 1,000 people most nights. Wow. Yeah, 1,000 people.
It must
and
be crazy. I don't think I could deal with that.
I don't know how he does it. I don't know how he does it, but I know that a lot of it comes down to his personality. He's very positive. He will also try really hard, to a fault almost, to not get in the middle of a fight. But a lot of times, like, I got people we both knew really well were coming after us, and he won't say a word. Like, we had Cher ready to rip someone's head off because they were saying stuff about us. But I don't fault him for not speaking out, because he's literally trying to stay out of the fray. That's how he is. And I respect him for being so positive about just covering cases. He changed, though. He wasn't early on. Like, he went after him, and Daisy were ripping each other apart so bad. He was in the drama, and there was a point where he was just like, you know what, done with the drama, and he just stopped doing that, and he focuses 100% on the cases now. So all props to Justin for that. I like watching his lives. It makes me feel good, makes me feel happy. His intros, everyone is saying they like the intro music. The dance music's not quite my thing, but I know a lot of people like it. So obviously we're more like bluegrass types, but he is the real deal. I like Justin. Yeah.
Grace, we're glad you found us.
Yes, we are very glad you found us. So the next steps for us in the local cases, what's Justin's channel called?
Justin for
Life.
Justin for Life.
It's very tempting, you guys. It's really, really hard knowing that there could be a connection and there could be a pattern. It's so hard for me to not start going down the road of looking into these cases too, with the no time we have. And like what we have planned for Summer's case right now is going to consume the next 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah, we have to do it. I mean, I don't know, anything to move the case along.
Even an inch. Yeah. It's hard because like going down that list with you guys and seeing what now 5 probably. If the Johnson City ones, you count them, then you've got potentially.
There was Greenville. They're close.
And the Greenville one, and then the guy in Churchill. There's so much we want to do, you guys, and there's not enough resources, not enough time. But we will just do our best. If we can help with any of these cases and just move to being able to take on more cases would be amazing.
Good.
Yeah. Oh, we love Knoxville. It's only an hour and a half away. Oops.
Forgot he had that one. Clutch Pearls.
Yeah, he has Clutch. Well, he does that now. His other one got demonetized for a little bit.
Why?
Justin for Life, but now it's he is growing Clutch Pearls. He's growing that one now.
I like that.
We're trying like, I mean, if we can't actively search on all the cases, at least we can keep mentioning their names, showing their faces. And I'm going to try to get some time to do research into these cases. If anybody knows in that list of the East Tennessee folks, I'll tell you what, you guys, more than donations, more than tips, more than super chats, more than super stickers, whatever they're called. Research help is the most valuable thing anybody can do for us. And if you know the family of any of those girls, if you know anyone who's willing to share information, it's like the case with Vern. He was able to talk to the brother, and then he could use his deductive reasoning to figure out where to look, because he has experience knowing where to look. And so if we can just find some details about how they disappeared, where they disappeared, maybe even suspicions about why they disappeared, then we can potentially help those families too. And if they can give us enough information that it's like, if they say to me, I really think in my heart, if you search in this area of woods along this trail, we're going to find something, but nobody has the resources. Nobody's helping us. Nobody's helping us. Nobody's helping our family. We would be out there next week. Jen and I would jump in the Jeep, put all our gear in. We would be out there. So if you know the families, please help us. Like, please help us get information on these cases.
Helpful.
Thank you, Keisha. My shirt says "Return of the Data."
She says she loves my shirt.
I like my shirt. Oh, she said Jen.
Yeah, she said Jen.
I'm so vain. I'm so vain.
It's fall. So
yeah, her shirt is. She loves fall, and she has a bunch of fall shirts. But yeah, it's. I am curious to know too from the locals. I wanted to start at 8:00 tonight because we have a lot of locals on Eastern time.
Right.
Keisha. Thank you. Most people don't know what it means though, because it's a company I used to work on their software, but it's cool. Return of the Data instead of Return of the Jedi.
So
I had one guy at a conference, not a conference, in a hotel. We were family travel. And he goes, dude, I love your shirt. I love that company. I'm like, you actually know what that company is? That is amazing. I wanted to start at 8:00 because I'm like, is it too early for you? Is it too late for you guys? Those of you who are on Eastern time, do you like struggle to stay up just to come to these lives, or would you appreciate earlier lives? Like
days like today because we got home so late.
Yeah, it's our search days, which is usually Sunday. Maybe we should have different days for our lives, but we don't search that day. Like during the week instead.
Maybe. I mean, we do Thursday.
All right. Anyway, give us your opinion in the comments. Well, if you're not here, then it might be too late for you. So yes, give us your opinion in the comments.
Again, if you watch this some other time, not right now, tell us.
Let us know what you think like is a better time for you. I know if you're in England or across the pond, probably like afternoon is best for you, and that's a little harder for us because I'm at work, for one thing. I nap beforehand. See, we're keeping Robin up. Oh, not true. Not the only time I dance with Jen. Although we haven't been to a dance since like
ever.
Yeah, anyway. It is good for you. Aw. Okay. We're getting mostly good. So for those of you who couldn't come to the live, and you're not here right now to vote, probably most of the people here will say it's a good time.
Yeah, right. I know. Just in the comments, just let us know.
I need, Jen, the tribe shirt thing. This made me think of something. So I designed, and I designed the t-shirts. I figured people would like to have, if they want to take pride in like what we do and that they're part of our tribe, that they would want a shirt. So I tried to make shirts that like I made one women's shirt.
I didn't even see it.
Yeah, you saw it and you said the design's okay, but I almost think you should design.
I would love to do that.
Yeah, you guys, I think I'm going to show Jen the software, like the site we use, and have her actually try to put together some designs, and one that says like somehow incorporates the tribe.
Oh,
would be really cool.
I could do that.
Yeah, so keep an eye out for that. I think we might do some new stuff, new merch.
As they say.
We still owe 2 people mugs. One person got our design for some reason, came in reverse, and I realized it's because I overlapped. So I fixed it, but we owe them a mug, and there's another person I still owe a mug. I told them, don't worry about it. I'm out of my own pocket. I'm going to send you a mug, and I haven't gotten around to it because we're so busy. I know. Yeah, thank you. It is an IT thing.
Why does that not make me feel bad?
So here it's It's currently 10:38, and the bulk of our audience, our demographics, if you guys don't know this, is the same as the true crime demographics, which is
About my age.
women over 40. Women over 40. Mostly. There's like 25% men, but mostly women over 40. So, in my opinion,
Where's my peeps?
so I'm thinking to myself, women over 40, do they stay up all night watching YouTube, or do they go to bed early? So I'm like,
someone suggests. I can't even
maybe
talk
we
now.
should
We should sell headlamps.
headlamps.
That's a good suggestion.
Actually, we should
We could do a whole
like
line.
branded search gear, funny branded camping gear or something. See, I told you it matches. She's 45.
Yep.
I'm not even gonna. I know better as a man not to have everyone like raise your hand if you're over 45 or over 40. You don't ask women their age. You never ask women their age.
6. I'm 47.
Although
I'm
we have
38.
a small amount of a younger audience coming in, slowly growing. But Justin and I were talking about like style. You know how he does quick cuts?
Yeah.
The younger kids like. And I'm like, oh, you guys, something really cool happened on the trail to me. And it was surreal.
Sit back and eat your popcorn.
Did I tell them about this yet? About the dude that was like, I apologize if I told the story. The guy that recognized me.
I don't. You told me about 2
Did
or
I
3
tell you guys
times.
about the guy that recognized me on this hike? On the hike I did with Justin? I don't want to tell the story over again. But
I
I can't remember if I mentioned
join
it.
this conversation. I'm 50. Turn 50
No.
in March.
He said I didn't see Bigfoot, unfortunately,
No.
on this hike. Lost Cove does not have Bigfoot, as far as I know. There might be rumors of it. No bear, even. I don't. Yes, did I tell the story, Shelly? Are you answering me? Oh, okay. Let's hear it. Okay. So I could have sworn so we got to the settlement, the Lost Cove settlement, where all of those structures are that got burned out, and there's still like a schoolhouse. And we went to the schoolhouse. I think it's a schoolhouse or a cabin. I don't know, but it's the only standing structure. And we came across a whole bunch of kids in their like teens. I think they're high school, maybe. I have the hardest
I
time
wasn't there.
judging age now because like kids that are under 18 to me look like they're 10 years old. Like they look so young. Even college students look so young to me. But these were high school kids, I'm pretty sure. There was a whole group of them. And we walked in to there's a campsite in front of that building. And we walked into it. They were all there. And of course, me and Justin have our cameras. Justin has a nice camera.
Does he?
Oh, he's got like the kind that zooms and all kinds of cool features and like a Rode mic on it. I don't know. She's yawning. Wow, that's how 72. You take the cake.
Nice.
That's nice. 72 years young. Good for you.
Good job.
And Eve is here every single time. I don't know how she does it. I don't know how she does it.
Thank
That's
you.
amazing. Thank you, Eve. Wow, that's impressive. Okay, that's maybe live search days. So we got to this cabin where this group of kids were, and we started we're YouTubers, and they were just enthralled for one thing.
Of course.
And they wanted to like be on camera. Like you tell they wanted to like talk about all the things they saw. And we walked down the tracks. I'm like, isn't it illegal to walk down? Oh yeah, don't put that on camera, which I just did. And then so they were all excited, and then they were like, what's the name of your channel? So I gave them the name of my channel, and Justin didn't. I think he was like too nervous, or maybe thought, well, my channel's too small. I don't want to give, I don't know, but he didn't say, or maybe he did. I can't remember, but he didn't talk too much. But they got all excited, and we're in the middle of talking, and then we went inside with a flashlight and we searched the building, looked through the building. I always say search, even though it is a nature video. We explored the building. I wasn't in search mode on this trip, but we found a huge spider in there.
Good to know.
Yeah, on camera. And
That's
then
your popcorn, guys?
we walk out, and we're talking to these kids again, right? And then this guy, and a friend of his, they walked down the trail, and he walked like Justin was blocking him from me, and he walked down the trail, and then he took a left turn, looked at me, and the moment he saw me, he goes, "Dude, I follow your YouTube channel." And all the high schoolers were like, "No way." I was like, "Are you kidding me?" Like, it's not often we get recognized, you guys, especially
like twice.
maybe more like on the trail for me, because I did so many hiking videos. But this is the part I wanted to tell you. It wasn't that he recognized me. It was that he told me his story. He used to be a heavy alcohol drinker. He was out of shape. This was like a year and a half ago, maybe 2 years. And he's like, he started watching. I can't believe this. Like, he said he started watching my videos and hearing my story about where I felt like I was before I started hiking, and using hiking as like medicine.
Yep.
And hiking to heal me. And after a while, he's watching me. He's like, well, if this guy can transform his life with hiking, then maybe I can.
Yeah. You never know who you're reaching out
I
there.
couldn't believe it. He quit alcohol, you guys. He started hiking hard. He started maintaining trails so he could spend more time in the woods. And he had like, he has a lifestyle where he can do that. And next year he's planning on hiking the Appalachian Trail.
Before us.
Before us. I'm like, you're so lucky you have 6 months. He goes, well, my lifestyle, like his pattern of work gives him 6 months.
That's
But
nice.
I told him, I'm like, such an inspiring story that it makes me realize that maybe I should kind of go back. Sometimes go to my roots, and sometimes just do a hike and share nature with people sometimes. Because the searching takes a toll emotionally. Takes a toll.
You can enjoy. I mean, you don't want to get to the point where you hate nature because you're so tired of going out there.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. It does help clear the mind just to be out there for the sake of being out there. It's starting to become like a job. It really is. And, ridding off areas and working through the areas instead of just, you guys, the feeling of getting on a mountain trail, whatever difficulty you want to do, and just slowly making your way up to the top of the mountain and staring at the view. The view of a mountain is, I don't know, it's so healing. It really is.
Yeah. Yes.
I always feel closer to
There's
God.
nothing like it.
I always feel closer to God on the top of a mountain. But if you can't, then I would like to bring it to you. Like my dad was he's disabled, so he was like, show me more mountain views. And I have failed him this past year. I've gotten a few mountain views.
Like, I'm sure he's proud of you for what you're doing.
Yeah, he talks about the things we're doing, and they're starting to send us missing people cases. Like,
that's awesome.
Yeah, they're starting to like, hey, this person just went missing in Maine. I can't believe it. Thank you, Grace. I try to. I mean, it is beautiful nature out there. There's a lot of amazing places in Rogersville,
right,
and around East Tennessee. So you can try to do both.
Yes,
we're out there anyway.
We do, and this new place we're looking in is beautiful. I mean, but that's not. I don't know what the point is.
Oh, I don't know.
You need to have a difference between going out searching and going out hiking.
Yeah, I would want to make it distinct, because the point of the nature video is really to just bring beauty,
right?
Because there's darkness around the cases, and what we're doing has a darkness around it. But people do get beauty out of the nature we're in. It's just hard to. It's not really the tone.
Something on.
Yeah, right. I'll just be out there enjoying nature, and that's when we'll find something. But yeah, agreed, Linda. There are places. There is a beautiful road up in the Appalachian Trail goes through this town north of here in Virginia. See, I'm bad with names, you guys. I hate that. I have to look on the map. I'm just gonna look it up. There's a road that goes through these mountains in Virginia north of us that everyone knows. Oh, the Appalachian Festival is in what town?
You mean Appalachian?
The Appalachian Festival. Appalachian Festival.
Boone.
It's
That's
not
what's in-
Boone. Appalachian Fair. It's not in Gray. No, not the fair. The Appalachian Trail Festival.
Oh,
Yeah.
Appalachian.
Appalachian Trail Festival. Trail Days. Trail Days.
We're gonna get to do my reading.
Hold on. Well, Virginia, Damascus. Thank you. Yes, Damascus. In Damascus, there is a highway out there. Someone told me about this recently, and I'm like, you know what? It is kind of creepy. There's a highway where allegedly things get dumped a lot.
I'm not
And
surprised.
what's sad is it's such a beautiful drive through the Damascus mountains, the mountains around Damascus, and there's a highway apparently where locals know there's I just laughed at this comment. I don't know if I'm a true Tennessean, but I try.
We're learning.
we're slowly learning.
We're
No,
still
it's
learning.
not the fact that I am or I'm not. It's remembering names, especially when I'm exhausted. The names of things and the name of places. That's
Tired.
yeah. But that highway, allegedly, the locals, this local told me she really wants us to drive through there, and some of the pull-offs are like really sketchy. You know, like Lone Oak,
Yes.
that
Oh
pull
my
off.
goodness.
It's this beautiful mountain road. That's the problem with isolated mountain roads, is
Yes.
it's isolated.
And the place where you're supposed to park. I mean, I found a deceased dog in a black bag there once. It smelled so bad. I had
Like,
to check. Of course,
why
me.
dump a dog? That's
A
disgusting.
large deceased dog.
Yes, and Stephen, by the way, well, there are people put up missing posters.
Mhm.
The swimming hole always has one.
Yes.
But there's a business, you know. Was it Crazy Chicken? I'm done soon. I know. Yeah, go ahead. Wait, no, you can't. Hold on. Crazy Chicken International, you guys. Crazy Chicken International. If you're local, I told her I would try to get my coworkers to go to lunch there, but they have too many other favorite places. If you are local in Johnson City, in Kingsport, in Bristol, please
Fostersville.
go to Crazy Chicken International in Kingsport. They have flyers for the missing. They allow you to put up flyers for the missing.
It's a restaurant.
And it's a restaurant in Kingsport. She has been supportive of our channel. She's been in our chat many times. When people have asked, where can I put up a poster? Because some businesses won't let you. She's like, come to my place. You can put up a poster.
Yeah.
Crazy Chicken in Kingsport.
Yeah.
Go check them out. Please, like, try their chicken because
It's
I have a
crazy.
feeling it's crazy chicken. I just support businesses that support the missing, really, and that's one that really does a great job. Getting more information, talking to hotel workers on what they have seen in Kingsport. Thank you.
That's a good idea.
I've considered doing that, but I got to tell you, if you saw in my Layla video where I showed you the hotel, oh, dude, walking.
They might not talk to you.
No, walking near that hotel freaks me out, and I don't get scared of people. I feel like I can take care of myself, but the sketch level of that hotel, of some of the hotels in Kingsport, you got people obviously.
Make sure you're armed.
Yeah, yes, agreed. And even then, I mean, I don't want to put myself in a situation where I have to use it, so I try to avoid that. But there are people that are just on something. There's people that look like criminals that are patrolling the parking lot. No, it's sketchy. And no, it's totally it's
clutching our pearls.
Clutching our pearls. No, I'm not afraid to go into many places, honestly. But I think I do have an elevated level of situational awareness and like my gut. And my gut often will be like, Ryan, you might get answers going over there in that dark alley where there's 3 people that look like they're dealing drugs. I might get answers, but I might not come back out of the alley. So
that is, you
got to pick and choose.
Right.
Pros and cons. Yeah, hotels are a no there. Not all hotels.
Oh
One
my gosh, Ryan.
one more thing, you guys. Kingsport is not a horrible
No,
place.
there's some wonderful places.
There's one person that was going to come visit was like, I don't want to go to Kingsport. I'll go to Johnson's. Yeah. And I'm like, if you go to the Meadowview area, there are beautiful hotels in Kingsport. There's a really nice hotel. There's the Meadowview, which is like a 5-star, actually somewhat affordable hotel.
Mhm.
There's a hotel by the highway on the way to the airport. The airport's clean and really nice. There are really nice downtown Kingsport where the shops are. And there's a beautiful, like, parking areas, always well maintained. They always decorate well. They keep it clean. There are really beautiful places in Kingsport.
Yes.
If you're gonna make the mistake of doing the things we do, which is sometimes going to parts of town, like most people know you don't go to some areas. Well, we have to because we're looking for where people would
Yes.
put things. So when I talk about the hotel, that road is hardly ever traveled. Hardly anybody really ever goes there. And
Right.
there's like a Christian place right on the other side of the road anyway. It's not like all the businesses are horrible. It's just that
Yeah.
one parking lot and the hotel is sketchy.
Right.
But the sketch doesn't emanate.
There are plenty of places in Johnson City that are sketchy.
There are plenty of places in Johnson
Yeah,
City.
yeah,
We
yeah.
actually chose not to live there because of the sketchy places we drove through, remember?
Johnson City, we do live
Johnson
in
City.
City.
No, we live in the gray
Okay.
side
So,
near
I just,
ETSU.
what I'm trying to say is there are good and bad places everywhere.
There are good and bad places everywhere.
And
It's
the
not,
only reason we're concentrating on mostly the bad places is because of, what we're trying to do.
and we're kind of recognizing there might be a pattern.
Yeah.
Kingsport doesn't mean all girls that age are at risk, but
Right.
anyway, we have talked about that I kept her on here, you guys. I tried really hard. I kept her on here for
That's not
2
my
whole
problem if you don't want to stay
hours.
video.
That's okay. I got a lot of energy now. It's nighttime, so I got a lot of energy. I'll do your editing, I'll do some research, and I'll probably regret it in the morning. But that's how my brain works.
You
So
have to get up and put it work.
actually tomorrow's important, so I probably should. Oh yeah, dude, Steven is trying to send me into the worst parts of town.
Glen
Steven, you know that actually I'm surprised from where you live, you know this area so well. Maybe we should talk. I have a feeling he knows people. Huh.
Thanks, everybody.
Yeah, anyway, thank you all. We do need to head out. Jen's got to do her reading for tomorrow morning. I need to make sure not to forget to post it like I did last time. I apologize to all of you who are on her channel and it didn't show up at 7 a.m. last week.
Not that
I feel so bad.
anybody actually watches it at 7 a.m., but you never know. Somebody said that they were waiting with their coffee and I wasn't there.
Oh, I feel so bad. I feel so guilty. I'm sorry to the person who is sitting there with their coffee. It will be there at 7 o'clock tomorrow morning.
My 70 people who watch my show.
It grows. It'll grow. Be consistent.
70 people are sweet and nice.
It's 70
really
people.
want to watch it.
That's 70 people who care about what you have to say.
To me.
Yeah.
If that's fine. I don't want a lot of people. I just want people who care.
Quality over quantity.
Cool.
Quality over quantity. That's why we hide half the trolls that come in. Yeah.
Yes, Jeff.
All right. We gotta. Did you break your record? What record?
Time spent?
I'm not sure. Possibly. Oh, my record for being live? I think I did tonight. Finally. How do you? Oh, I thought, Linda. I thought you asked me how I found Jen. I'm like, oh no, isn't she wonderful? I'll say Jen's channel is The Reluctant Psychic. Don't put Reluctant Psychic. It's The Reluctant Psychic.
Yes.
And
there we go. Thank you, Rock and
Yeah,
Robin.
thank you, Robin. It is called that because she never considered herself a psychic, and then people started calling her psychic. So now she's like, fine, call me psychic, but she's not. she's an empath.
Okay, you don't have to explain.
They're new.
Oh,
They're new. They don't know you.
sorry.
She is an empath. She's highly sensitive to people and places. and that's her gig. That's her story. So, all right, we seriously are going. She's gonna nudge me like really hard until but I had to get us to exactly 2 hours and 6 seconds. It's
What is that?
2 hours and 6 seconds. I
Oh.
needed to see if Jen could reach 2 hours. And
Thank you
looks like she
very
has.
much. I was so tired today. I'm
Good
like,
job, Jen.
I don't know if I
Good
can
job.
do it tonight.
2 hours. All right. Good night, you all. Thank you for coming to another live of ours. This was really interesting.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed your input on the missing cases here, potential patterns. Gave us a lot to think about, actually. A lot of new information, new ways to look at it. But thank you, as always, for your support and all the ways you support us. We love you all.
We do. We care about you guys.
Yep. And hope you all have a great night.
Yep. Love you.